this is Coach Hall, and welcome to Bunkered Down Parenting. That's what we're calling this. I tried to go on earlier with a Facebook Live. We're having some technical issues. Apparently, the internet was chopping on and off and doing all kinds of weird things. So, what I decided to do was to go ahead and record this, pop it up on YouTube. I got a YouTube channel where there's a bunch of videos, anyways, and a lot of it has to do with parenting. So, I figured just take advantage of that and put the connection from the channel to here. So here we are. Instead of a Facebook Live, we're doing this a Facebook video. And I wanted to talk to you guys. I was hoping to get a little interaction with some replay and stuff like that. And hopefully we'll have the technical issues worked out tomorrow. But for today, we're going to focus on what is happening in the world today and how it's impacting us in a series that I've kicked off that I like to refer to as Bunkered Down Parenting. Yeah, there's all these terms of being tossed around because of the coronavirus. We're having the stay-at-home policy, the settle-in policy, or there's all types of names, and I've heard so many different things in the last few days. Can't memorize them all, but the idea is that we're just supposed to stay at home, keep our distance from people, be good about washing our hands and washing our clothes and taking showers and hygiene, disinfectant. You've heard the routine, you know what it's all about. And so it has created, in essence, a whole new reality from what we're used to. What I like to refer to as normal life a couple weeks ago for us to boom, new life. It's completely different. Massive and quick change has occurred. And when we go through massive and quick change, it can jostle us. It can make us feel uncomfortable. It can have all sorts of emotions and feelings. And what I want to do is target a topic that is actually happening to my family this week and maybe happening with you guys right now or very soon, which is in the state that I'm in, and I think it's happening throughout a lot of the states. They have, in essence, closed up the remaining of the school year. In other words, school is over, except it's not really over. What they're doing is having kids go to virtual school or homeschooling and to finish up whatever's left with their credits for the rest of the year. Now, so they're doing it differently in different states, and the game plan may be changing moment to moment. But our plan is that tonight I attended a virtual training so parents understand what's going to be happening. The children attended too. My daughter is fully aware of what's going to happen. And they're going to be doing Zoom meetings, which is actually what I'm using to record this. So I'm familiar with Zoom. I can help her out with that particular application. And then they will get their lessons. Some of it will be done live, and some of it will be done out of sync. They call it in sync and out of sync, or some terminology like that, which basically means for a few moments every day that they'll be live with the teacher, and for some period of time they will be independently taking lessons or quizzes or whatever it is that their assignments are, and then they'll check back in and go back into live mode. Sounds really interesting. I don't know how they're going to do it in your place, but whatever they do that's different will be different from the norm. And it could be quite challenging to try to fit into what we have in our life as normal. For a lot of us, normal has completely shifted around. Some of us are out of work, so we're not going to work every day. Some of us can't do our normal routines because our normal routines involve being close to other people. Maybe you're in an exercise group, or you just have some kind of, I don't know what it could be, but you could be in contact with other people, and suddenly that's being taken away. So your lives are changing, and that can be quite stressful and very difficult for us to handle. And so one of the things that's really important when we get into this bunkered down mode, because that's what's happening here, we're going to be kind of hollowed up, or just kind of put into a xenophobic or hermit-like state for a while, is that we need to take care of ourselves and we need to take care of our family, obviously. But what's going to happen is what is normal in terms of our parenting roles A few of these roles are going to really be tested now. Okay, we have creation role. That's what we did when we created our family, and we try to constantly create a great environment each and every day. But we also have the provider and nurturer role, and the provider role might be adjusted now because some of us have lost our jobs, or they've scaled back, or we maybe having to look for different types of income to supplement us through this time, or just to have a secondary income so that when we are dealing with these times, we always have something in reserves to work with. Which leads me to the idea that I posed the other day, which is come join me at starfamilycoaching.com, become an affiliate, help me teach parents to become an optimal parent, and I'll split the proceeds with you. That's right, 50-50 partners, you and me, selling courses, getting people enrolled in my school, which I right now have 21 courses, and the library is going to continuously be built up. And for as little as $29 a month, a parent can sign up and have access to all of the courses. You sell that subscription, and every month you'll get 14 bucks. I'll get 14 bucks. And if you build this up, and by the way, in the state of Florida, there's over 6,000 schools, hundreds of students going to each of these schools. So just in the state of Florida, the amount of people that would be interested and potential customers is massive. Worldwide, we have over 1 billion parents. So you can see the numbers are amazingly large, and every day we give birth to around 200 to 300,000 new babies. So the marketplace is enormous. We will never reach everyone. So you always find somebody who's in need of the information that we sell and the training that we provide at Star Family Coaching. You can help me with my mission, which is to provide the capability and transform families from being normal, whatever style of parenting they are using right now, and shifting them into optimal parenting, which will help us create optimal adults. And that's the goal. By 2030, I want to impact 1 million families. And I can't do it by myself, so I'm looking for some help. And the way I want to do that is by having affiliates join me, kind of like in a franchise type of situation, except you're on your own doing your thing, and I'll give you as much support as I possibly can. All right, enough of that. Let's talk about these roles that are really going to be tested. Okay, providing role could be tested. The nurturing role will be ramped up because your kids will be around, so you're going to be in nurturing mode more often. But you also are going to be in coaching mode, and I didn't list it up here, but the governor role, with more kids around the house, the policies of the household might get a little confusing. You might have some conflicts happening on a more frequent basis. And what do we do to deal with conflict? And how do we administer discipline and these sorts of things? That's all part of the governor role. That could be tested too. But I really wanted to highlight on the coaching, the buddy, and the modeling role. And in the coaching role, we're going to be asked to do some things that just are outside of our comfort zone, because our child is going to be homeschooled. And really, teaching is what coaching is all about. As a coach, we're going to be teaching our children life skills, how to manage finances or ride a bike, whatever the skill might be. As a parent, we'll be teaching these things to our children. But now we're going to be asked to become school teachers. That wasn't in the job description, was it? No, that's why we have public schools. That's why we have private schools, because we don't know enough about the different subject matters that these children need to learn. That's why we send them there. And now we're kind of being thrusted into this new expansive role when it comes to coaching. Now, what you need to do is find out just how involved you need to be with your school in this new arrangement of virtual schooling and so forth and so on. Understand that that's going to make you feel weird. It may make you feel angry. You may not like this idea. You may feel scared. You could have any number of feelings. And the thing I want to really touch on when it comes to all of these different things that we're going to experience, even before we get to looking at this particular dynamic, which is going to change our daily lives, just the idea of suddenly we're being quarantined or asked to stay in place for long periods of time, of impacting our normal A position of life, and now we're being thrusted into this B position of a new life. It's going to create a lot of feelings, maybe some anxiety, maybe even some panic. And we need to get in touch with those feelings. We need to get in touch with those emotions. And we need to accept those emotions. I'm going to put out a course in the near future. Hopefully I get it out in a month or so. This is acceptance, commitment, and I like to call it training. The therapists call it therapy. But basically it's a technique of understanding that we are emotional creatures and tapping into that, and not trying to hide the feelings or move from one state to another state, which is a lot of what mindfulness does. Let's move from one state to another. That's all well and good, but at the end of the day, we really need to face our feelings and face our emotions so we don't create patterns or avoidances in our life. I don't want to do that because I don't want to have that feeling, so I move into meditation to avoid that. This is a different sort of technique and strategy that's highly effective. I use it in my own life. It helped me get over a lot of obstacles. I use the CBT and NLP techniques to help me get over my own personal life crisis, but it developed a sort of avoid this part of your world and avoid that part of the world, or have a quick in and out when you start to feel that, versus what is it that's causing me to have to use these other techniques. And the reality is that I wasn't facing my demons. And ACT is about facing your demons. And really the demon is your own emotion. It might be fear, might be anxiety, maybe uncertainty, whatever it is that is the underlying sensation or emotion that's causing you to have a hang up or a trigger or to get stuck in life. If we learn to deal with that and understand that, hey, we are emotional, and how to process that emotion in a positive way, then we can commit to a different way of thinking about those emotions, and we can start to train ourselves out of that pattern. Ooh, it's powerful stuff. But this is a perfect test for that, because we're going to go into new situations now. And a lot of us get triggered by new situations. We like certainty. We like habits. We like routines, most of us. And now we're in an uncertain time that doesn't have any particular order to it. And information is being changed from day to day, and we seem to be more and more constricted in our ability to move. And can cause panic, stress, anxiety, you name it. We have to face it. Let's face it now rather than just trying to avoid it, and then later on it comes back up and starts to impact us down the road. So let's accept the fact that we're emotional human beings. Let's deal with it and look and show this. Model it to your children. Now, I'm not talking about modeling panic and going around and smashing things up. I'm talking about modeling the fact that you are going to accept that you are an emotional being. All you have to do is look in the mirror. If you start to feel panicky, go look in the mirror and say, I'm feeling panicky. This is what panic looks like. And once you see it and you know that it's happening, it's easier to accept it. It becomes visible. It becomes real. And then you start to move into mindfulness. From that point, move into mindfulness. Start breathing techniques. Use EFT. We have a course on that at the school. I worked with Graham Nichols together. He and I put together this wonderful EFT for Parents program. Take advantage of this opportunity because you have a lot of time to take a course like that. Use the techniques and get over these anxiety real quick. I mean, EFT techniques, in minutes you can do it, and suddenly you go from this into very calm and relaxed state. You can do deep breathing exercises. You can do other things with your family, something like pass the love or hug. And there's a number of things we can do, and that we talk about in the courses at starfamilycoaching.com. So there are things that we can do to proactively manage and navigate our feelings, not run away from them. So I'm having these emotions and I need to have these emotions because That's my energy. This is who I am, and I'm allowed to be this way. And it's okay to feel scared, and it's okay to be angry, and it's okay to feel whatever it is that you're feeling. But I'm not going to allow my feelings to become the boss of me. I'm not going to allow my feelings to go crazy and out of control and demonstrate a behavior that I'm going to regret later, that I don't want to demonstrate to my children. Because now we are being put to the test to where we can let our children know that, hey, just like you, I am, as an adult, an emotional creature. And we need to be okay with it. And then we can offer the way in which to navigate it, and then what we can do afterwards. Because once you go through the emotional process and you get to the point of relaxation, you've released that toxic energy, and now you're free to receive positive energy and start to construct a plan moving forward on what you're going to do with the days that you're bunkered down. Okay. And what are we going to do when it comes to homeschooling? And how are we going to become better at coaching? Well, you got to ask a lot of questions. Whoever's running the system, the government, the local school system, your school, ask questions. Get the answers. And the more you ask the questions, the more answers you get. Find out who else is doing it. I'm sure there's other people that are feeling just like you. Team up with those parents. Get in touch with the PTA, the TPA president, whoever that might be. Form a parenting group. Get together on this, folks. This is your time to bond together and share ideas on what we can do. Now, an idea I would give you right now is that when kids go to school, any child for that matter, and this is even true for adults, when we go to the place of learning, or if we go to our career, that place, that physical place, becomes associated to that activity. So physically going to the school and being at a desk with all your colleagues, your peers around you, in your mind, that translates to I'm in school, and that's what learning is, and this is the place of learning. Now we're asking a child you're going to have to do the learning stuff, but not in that environment. So you got to disconnect that association, which is hard to do because at home, that's the place where we relax, right? That's where we play video games, or hang out with our family, or do some chores, or go to sleep and eat. All the things that we do at home, they have nothing to do with school. But yes, we may have a little spot in time where we have to do some homework. And if you have a desk set up already like that, that's great. Not all of us have that kind of space. In fact, some of us might just have one table, a dining room table. So you may have to set that table up a little different so that between the hours of like 9 and 3, we set it up so it becomes a school desk for your child to take virtual classes. And this is what we need to do. We need to all pitch in and go, okay, we need to create a little boundary in some corner of the home to say, this is our new little school here. Okay. So our child associates that corner, that place with learning, just like they've associated the school with learning. Now they know that there's a place to learn at home. And as soon as we do that, the quicker we do that, the easier it is for the child to accept that situation and begin learning. Otherwise, they're going to have a hard time of recognizing that they're in school, because there's going to be so many things around them to distract them and to remind them that I'm not at school, I'm at home. And then you're going to most likely have this little conflict with them, and then you're going to be yelling at them at some point, you got to pay attention to the class, you're getting behind. We don't want to go there. What we want to do is make the transition as smooth as possible, so we can, the first step is to create basically a little area in your home that's going to be their school for a while. Okay, that's step one. Step two is for us as parents to recognize that they're just as scared and concerned, and they don't want to do this. My child, in fact, my daughter, she loves going to school. She loves her classmates. She loves her friends. She loves all the sports she's involved with, and it's all gone now. And so she doesn't want to do this, because in her mind, she feels like if she doesn't do that, then maybe they won't magically come back. But then, the left brain kicks in and goes, nah, that's not going to happen. So there's conflict going on. There's a lot of, even grief going on at this point, because it's a loss of something that they're comfortable with. And now being forced to be in a realm of a place that's uncomfortable, inside and outside. So what we want to do is create a smooth transition as quickly as possible for them to physically go to. And then the mental and emotional stuff we need to work on as well, and recognize the fact that they are emotional creatures. They're probably going to resist this as much as we don't want to do it. They don't want to do it 10, 15, 100 times more. So we're going to have to go through that a little bit and accept the idea that, okay, I know you don't want to do this, and how's it making you feel? And just assign some names to these feelings so they know what these feelings are. And then let's talk through these feelings, express those feelings, but let's also get to work, because the quicker we get to work, the easier this is going to happen. We start to build a new chapter, and I'm understanding that the new life isn't as bad as we imagine it is. In fact, we may get a lot of good things out of this whole new world that we're creating. But we want to make this as smooth of a transition as possible. All right, and we need to exercise patience as parents. We need to be very patient with ourselves, because we are going to be now teacher/coaches. We don't know what we're doing. We're trying to know, but we honestly, people go to school and get a degree for a reason to become teachers. And we didn't do that. We're parents. We're doing something else. So we're going to be in this real fuzzy zone here where we are unconsciously incompetent, now moving into this realm of consciously incompetent, which basically means we now are aware of the fact that we don't know what we're doing when it comes to teaching. And that's an uncomfortable feeling. That's a scary feeling. And it comes with feelings and emotions that we need to address and we need to accept. So both your child and you are going to be experiencing a lot of emotion and a lot of feeling, but we still have to have a game plan here. And the game plan is to get things back into order so that the learning can continue, the education can continue. So that becomes the goal. That becomes the thing we need to focus on. Set up the system so my child can continue learning. The quicker we can get there, the better we can establish a new normal. This B becomes the new A. That only happens if we have a goal. The goal has to be to set up the new education learning portal. However that is, it needs to be established. So we can physically start creating that corner, and we can mentally start getting there, and we can support each other with the uncertainty that's going to transpire over the next few weeks, maybe months. I don't know how long this is going to last, but a lot of emotions are going to be there, and we have to go through a period of accepting it. And we also have to go through a period of saying, hey, it's time to get busy. We get busy, and then if we start to get stressed and we're having emotions again, more mindfulness, more accepting of the feelings, process back into doing. Okay, so that's the pattern that we want to create, because that's going to help us attain the goal. And at some point, we will get to that comfort zone again. It'll be a different world. It'll be a different kind of comfort, but it will feel much better than it will feel right now today. The way you feel about this right now is going to be the worst that it can ever feel, unless you continue to carry this feeling over to tomorrow and then make it bigger. But today it could be the worst that you ever feel about this. And tomorrow it can feel less stressful, less painful, less uncertain, by creating the plan that you want to happen and that you want to achieve for your family. And the immediate plan is for you, now homeschoolers at this point, is that we need to set up and establish our learning portal, that it'll be in our house. This is our school. This is our corner for our child to learn in, and that we're going to support that. And we're going to do what we can. We're going to modify our schedule. We're going to make it happen. And then that's what we do. If we do that, this whole bunker down parenting, at least in the area of school, will go smoothly. Okay. So feelings and emotions, they're going to take top priority. We need to address those right away. We need to get on top of those. And then we got to go through our emotions, and then we want to move into action. A couple of things we can focus on when it comes to emotions is to make sure that we're sleeping as good as we possibly can. It might be hard now because we got a lot of things on our mind. But what we can do is exercise. I know that maybe your gym got shut down, so that's another thing. You can set up another part of the house, or run around the house a bunch of times, create a little gym, do something to keep you active. Number 3, make sure that your nutrition is steady flowing the way it's supposed to. I know a lot of us right now, when we get a little extra time, we got a lot of extra time, we want to sit in front of the TV and catch up on all those TV shows, and we start snacking, and next thing you know, you can't fit in those pants anymore. That's not good, because that's going to make it harder for you to sleep. If you don't get enough sleep, then you're going to feel less rested, and when you're less rested, it's harder to get out of the emotional state and get into the active state you need to be in. So there's a lot of things that we can do that we need to be aware of. But if we get on top of the emotion thing and understand, I'm not going to go and binge eat now, and I'm not going to go smoke 10 packs of cigarettes today, and I'm not going to drink a gallon of alcohol, I'm not going to go download a bunch of pornography or gamble my life savings away. I'm not going to do any of these crazy things. I'm just going to address the fact that, hey, I got emotions I need to deal with, and let's deal with those. And then you don't do those other things. You get over the edge quicker. Face your emotions, start working, take time out to deal with your emotion, get back to working. This is going to be the pattern for a while, folks. And if you do that, you'll get through this much quicker, much smoother, and much wiser than the alternative. Okay, so that's basically it. We're going to wrap it up now. Tomorrow we'll be back, hopefully with something else, and hopefully nothing will go wrong with the transmission. I hope to be live again. Lots of hope in the air. And I hope you guys are doing well. You're keeping safe distance. You're staying coronavirus free. Be healthy, guys. Go out there and be loving to one another. I want you to be just cool. Be as cool as you can. You can do that again through meditation and mindfulness and deep breathing exercises, and also be wise. Okay, with that, I hope you guys take care of one another and check me out tomorrow. And I wish you the best of health, best of life. And until tomorrow, take care, my friends.